Hello, gonna do another face off today. I've got two Swedish frame back razors that I wanted to kind of show off. One of them's not in the best of state, I must be fair. I'll explain that in a minute. But anyway, one of them's an old CV, and it's quite a largish frame back, and it's actually got like some homeware on it, so it'd have been a lot larger as well. This is a Mr. Carl Victor one, CV Heljestrand. It's in pretty good condition, I must say. It's not too loose actually, but it's just quite a heavy frame back. It does sit in its position well. Hang on, I'll try again. There we go. That's the non-face side. There's some lovely steel. I'm not quite sure if I've got it right around the edge here, but frankly, you don't really want that too sharp there unless you want it, if you know what I mean. So some people do want it really sharp. So I've chased it round as far as naturally it kind of went. I'm not sure if I've got it right to this last bit here, but if you sharpen it right to that last bit and you're a bit inexperienced, you can really nick yourself, like, because it's kind of like you're almost sort of like pushing it into your nooks and crannies by mistake sometimes. Like, an experienced dude would be fine. Like, I don't mind them sharp that way, but I thought I'd just leave it a bit off the edge. You know, I might hit the edge, it might be okay, but under the microscope it looks like I kind of haven't. And then I've got this. It's J-O-H Engstrom, and I don't see many of these about, frankly. I've read about him in the past, but I can't quite remember the full details of his setup. And these were a razor that were doing the rounds. I think the consensus is roughly about 1890s, because there was a lot of Swedish razors in this style type. You know, I've seen CVs. I think I had a CV like this years ago that was had a lot of wear on it, and you know, it was a low blade. I'm sure I did. In fact, I might have it still somewhere in my clunker drawer. But look, yeah, it's got some quite bad. Well, it's not so much corrosion. Basically, these razors were done with a mild steel in this bulk part of it and along the spine, and they actually sort of chromed it or something, because it's not the same steel as you see, like the shiny steel, if you understand what I mean. So sadly it's got some quite bad corrosion. So I got 4 of these razors. I bought them ages ago, like I think over a year ago. Where's it gone? And they come in this rather nice, it's almost like a tobacco pouch, but it's not. It's a proper nice and fancy, basically, razor bag. And that's part of the reason why I wanted to buy it, because I'm a leather crafter, you see, so I'm really interested in this, you know, old school leather craft stuff. And to make something like this nowadays, man, you're talking big bucks. And it was made by a dude called Joseph Lastmaker, Haymarket, London. And the lastmaker is somebody that used to make the lasts for cobblers and, you know, like high-end shoes and stuff. So yeah, it's pretty cool, man. It's still in pretty good nick as well. I might end up selling this because I bought it to copy it, if you know what I mean. Well, not so much copy it, but get inspiration from it. It's a lovely, nice suede interior. So all of those, we call it John Engstrom. Oh God, my pronunciation is so bad. I'm so sorry. Yeah, so I had 4 of them, and one of the scales was knackered on one, and that's probably the most oh, that's not right, is it? The one that's got the worst corrosion on it. And there's one that I'm going to keep because it's nice and clean, and because that's what I bought them for as well. You see, I wanted a really nice frame back that was a bit different from all the other frame backs I found. And so, well, since then I've actually bought a Sheffield one that's quite big and nice. So whether I'll keep that or keep one of these, I'm not sure. I'll see how that Sheffield one shaves, and if you say how it shaves just as kind of good. It's got this really nice, pretty silver kind of like etching on it. And that's pretty sturdy stuff, because I've gave it a bit of a polish and everything, and frankly it ain't touched it. If anything, it's just made it shine a little bit more. There's a few finger marks on it where I've been touching it today. And yeah, the steel on this, look, so they insert the steel within the spine of the milder, cheap kind of steel sort of thing. It's got a lovely angle to it. You know, it's a way of saving good steel, you see, because the Swedish were very frugal from what I've read, and they supposedly still are. And the steel from this on the blade is from the Dannemora mine, quarry, and that's still going supposedly, from what I could read. It's got a nice little lead wedge So like I said, I think the consensus is roughly sort of 18, sort of 80, 18. I think it's more the 1890, isn't it? Because if you read on here, it says it indicates all of the recent what do they call them? The world conventions. I'm not quite sure that's exactly what they called them, but it was basically where the rich and famous met up with these massive, great big conventions. Seriously, look into it. So it's really quite mad. And they did them in London, Philadelphia, Paris, I believe as well. And it's got some of the dates on it, and it's where when you like your medallions. I think they called like, and it's like you won an award basically. The Cutlers bought all their best wares, and yeah, and all the dates are pre on here anyway, stamped on here, pre 1890. So I think that's why everybody thinks that they were made roughly about that. It's almost to like celebrate it basically. Well, without further ado, let's get shaving. Today I'm shaving with the BLK 12S. Like I said, it's my go-to brush. I basically just pass on all the other brushes I find, because this one I enjoy. It's a big old brush, probably too big really, but I didn't realise that when I bought it all those years ago, and it performs well. So, you know, I'm somebody that likes to keep, what's the saying? Too wet again. Keep doing that. Maybe one day I'll learn. New soap. It's not that new anymore, but give it a good old whirl up. You don't really need to give it too much of a whirl up with this, to be fair. Let's warm my old skin up a bit, because I think sometimes I'm shaving my skin and it's not warm enough because I come out of the shower and I can't keep a little camcorder in the shower when I'm showering and stuff, so I have to do a bit of a workaround. You just like use the old Captain Fawcett's. I love the stuff, man, it's lovely. Oh dear. Right, let's see how this Johan Engstrom. Like I said, he's one of the rarer ones really. I've got 3 days growth as well. Oh, quite a different. Quite a different feel. I just wanted to hear how it felt without any lava on it. Yes, I thought it was going to feel a bit different. It's a bit stiffer than sort of other frame mats I've had. I wanted to hear the noise it made, because as soon as you put the lava on, you lose some of the noise. I shaved with a razor the other day, and God, it was almost making this singing noise as I was shaving with it, like when it was plucking the hairs off. It was a thin grind. I think it was a Carl Victor. Hope you're all doing well. It's quite mild in the UK now for the winter, and I think it's set fair, a bit mild now for the next week. Does hold a lot of soap on there. I ain't actually uploaded the last video I did yet, but basically I only chopped the front of my chin off. It's like a bloodbath. But all it was a spot that I forgot I had, that didn't actually have a head, and it's just a little bump kind of thing. Well, I took that clean off. That got lasered off by my straight razor I was using, and yeah, bled well. Let's put it that way. Right. See what I mean? It makes a really different noise when you lather up. And the skin, the hair comes off easier, look. Yeah, it's like I thought when I was sharpening this, that I tell you what, it was actually a bit of a bugger. Like normally frame backs are quite easy to hone, or at least I find them to. But they're a bit more difficult, let's put it that way. That's the only way really to put it. I couldn't tell you why. Got a spot down there near my Adam's apple. I couldn't really tell you why really, but they were just a little bit sort of awkward. Two of them I've put back to the next round of sharpening just because they were being a bit of a pain in the bum. You sit on the stones nice and everything. Like I said, I couldn't really nail it down why, other than, you know, the steel's a bit tough. Like if I'm going to be really picky, that is shave ready, but it's not quite as tight as I'd like, especially for steel that I know is that good. So it probably needs a bit more stropping, bit more stropping on the compound strop probably. But it's a smooth shave, it's comfortable. It's just, look, I can tell, look, just a little bit rougher than kind of I like to achieve, let's put it that way. But that's plucking the hairs off nice enough. Right, let's try this Mr. Carl Victor. I ain't actually had many Carl Victor frame backs. Cool, can you hear that? Completely different sound, that's what I mean. That's the normal, well, the more, let's say, normal sound I'm used to with the frame backs. Very audible. Oh, where's that spot? There it is. It's a nice sound though, I like that sound. You hear the tool working. It's a nice sound that. It's actually a different sound to some other frame backs as well really. It's a bit, I'm not too great with my sound descriptions, but it's a bit sort of louder in a way. yeah, the CV's a little bit tighter. Like I said, needs a little bit more stropping I reckon. We'll give it a bit of a whirl on the pasted strop before I set it out into the wild. But I don't expect all my razors that are shave ready to be perfect for everybody, do you know what I mean? It's like, you know, it's damn near impossible. It's such a subjective thing. It's like I sold a couple of razors to a fella in, let me think, was it Germany or Denmark? It was one of them, I forget now. And a real nice fellow, we was talking, you know, via messages and stuff beforehand. But what he didn't tell me is he had really coarse hair, and he bought two razors off me, and one of them especially was one of the finest holograms you could probably buy. It was an MK, Carl Victor MK30, and it was exceptionally thin. Like even when I shaved with it, I was a bit like, you know, I don't, you know, I ain't got really coarse hair, but I ain't got fine hair either. But I'm not. I'd say if you've got a graph like that, I'm above middle on the coarseness, let's put it that way. And even when I shaved with it, I'm sure I did a video for that one actually, I could tell it was a bit, you know, like the edge is not going to last that long, and, you know, it's not my preferred razor, let's put it that way. So anyway, he bought the razor, and then he messaged me and he said, yeah, it shaves well, but it just feels like I'm not getting the hairs under my chin, and like, I think where a lot of us struggle to get real tight, kind of there. And then basically he said about his coarseness, and I was like, oh man, you bought possibly the worst razor really to give a go. So anyway, he bought another one off me, and fingers crossed it'd be really good, because I can remember shaving with it, and it was it J. Helberg number 12, and they're really nice razors if you get a good one, and they're a wedge, like wedge type, and got a good bit of weight behind them and that lot. So hopefully, you know, if you've got really coarse skin, coarse hair, I always sort of say, stay away from the really thin hollows, and preferably you need to go for like the quarter hollows and the half hollows. Half hollows are brilliant. I think they're the best razors I do. On the whole, if I was going to pick a type, I'd say half hollows. Some of the Japanese half hollows are just amazing. So, you know, it's shaving against the grain, so it's definitely, you know, shave ready kind of thing. It's just a very subjective thing, isn't it? We've all got different skin types, we all do different prep, we all got different hair, you know. You know, the Asian fellows among us have generally got quite coarser hair. You've just got to try different razors. Find different razors, find your type, find your styles, and then you know where you're working really, and what ones at least you prefer, and then you can just get experimenting if you choose to, and you know, it's fun to try new razors out. I think it is. You know, and even if you don't get on with them, you can always resell them. It's a nice frame back now, that is, that CV. Not sure. Lay it flat. Yeah, it's plucking the air nice. I'll tell you a little bit of story of this CV as well, because the first time I tried to shave with it, it didn't actually work that great. It was basically a bit of a failure when I was doing a bit of a bulk kind of test. And it was because I was messing around with my Nagura stones. So I've learnt a little bit more about Nagura stones and matching them to your natural stones and whatnot. Right, well on the whole I think that's a pretty good shave. Let's get a bit more sort of lava up. See, it's got tighter on the second pass. If I was going to be really critical, I'd probably say it's a little bit less. I think the CV won it today. Right, I'm going to love you and leave you. Dry your razors. You know, give them a good old dry. Strop them off. I always use an old jeweller's cloth afterwards just to try and keep that shine and whatnot. You have a good day. Good day can sometimes start with a good shave. I'll see you later. Bye bye.